Hey everybody, believe it or not, we got another rainy Saturday here in New Hampshire. It's giving me a chance to do some of these review videos. What I'm going to do today is I just bought this hedge trimmer. It's an Echo SHC 225S. I looked around. I'm kind of a Husqvarna person. I do have some Echo stuff. I have, 3 Echo chainsaws. I got good deals on them, and they are a good product. I do think the smaller saws, I tend to like the Echoes better than the Husqvarna chainsaws. Bigger saws, you'll see that I'm a Husqvarna guy. Last hedge trimmer is just old, and it's like the gas lines were rotting out. I fixed them. The primer bulb would go bad. I'd fix it. Finally, it kind of blew its lunch last year. It was at end of the season, so I wasn't too concerned about it. I want to say when I bought that one, it was a handheld, gas-powered. I want to say I paid a couple $100 for it, but I looked them up online, $500 and something. I don't do a lot of lawn care into this stuff anymore, so I'm like, man, do I want to spray that? I think this one here was $299.99 or whatever it was, but I looked at the Husqvarna pole style. I still may get a handheld. It's nice to have both. I do have a handful of properties that I keep care of where the bushes are 12, 14 foot tall. One of them I actually have to stand on the guy's garage roof and get the top shaped the way he wants it. I know I'm probably going to end up doing that again this year. I also just took another commercial. I took one of my old commercial properties back that I haven't had for a few years, and everything is overgrown. That's one of the first things you were going to have to do. But I thought today I'm going to show you a couple products that I've had good luck with. I'm going to show you, I'm going to unbox this. And there's a Ryobi product that I bought a few years ago. And someone mentioned the other day, someone that see it in my truck a year or two ago asked me about it. So I said, oh, I'm going to do that in a video today. Asked me what, because same thing, contractors, like, I'd be embarrassed to have that in my truck. Nah, not me. The two products, I'm going to show you this, which is an Echo, and I'm going to show you two Ryobi products today that I feel are probably as good as brands that are 2 to 3 times, maybe even 4 times. One of the products is a pump sprayer. It's electric sprayer that's probably a quarter of the cost of everybody else, and it's already outlasted the ones I paid a lot more money for. So I'll show you that later in the video. We'll unbox this real quick right now. I'm not afraid to buy Echo products. I mean, I have stuff. I use this, like I said, I'm a business. I use this stuff professionally. I probably put more gas through something like this in a week of using it than a homeowner would. I bought this a few weeks ago and thought I was already going to be using it. We've had rain now for like a month here, so I'm behind on a bunch of projects. I do like that this is like an extended. Some of them have. My last Husqvarna was the motor was here and it was a short handle. I like the way this was built when I looked it up online. There ain't a lot of reviews on stuff like this. That's another reason I'm doing that. Part of my channel is going to be doing these reviews. You got your bullcrap little Echo puts their little video out on YouTube and tells you how great it is. But like I said, I'm going to do a video on this. I did buy this at Home Depot. Even though I don't do a lot of lawn care anymore, my wife will say, do you really need that for that kind of money? That's something, but this is just a tool. To do what this does by hand would take you all day. This is going to take you an hour to go trim up, 15 plants or shrubs. But anyways, we're going to show you this. I figured I'd open it in front of you. It's a SHC 225S. So that's the product. And like I said, later in the video, or maybe tomorrow, I'll go out and use it. We're going to show this thing working. What I always do when I put these away, I spray this with WD-40. Sometimes this might sit on a shelf for like a month at a time, but keeps them from rusting up. It shouldn't rust up anyways, but it still helps. I put fuel in this, primed it up. This will be the first start. Let's see how it goes. I don't believe it will start with one pull. Maybe. All right, now I'll hit that with a leaf rake just to knock some stuff off and probably have to hit it again, but I want to show it's decent sized stuff we're cutting off. I think that's going to be a good product, but like I said, we'll do another review. I got a job coming up I'm going to be using that a lot on. These were all rescue bushes that we got off a job. They had got planted too close to a building, so one side was growing, the other one wasn't, so it's been like, what, 5 years? My wife's on the camera right now, that's why I just looked at her and said that. But it's been like 5 years, we're getting them so they're shaped pretty good. A lot of people would have just dug them out, threw them away, but they dug out with a pretty good root system, so we brought them home and put them here. Alright, I just thought I'd show you this working in the video. I like it. The next product I want to show you is, this is a Ryobi electric sprayer. I've put hundreds of gallons of product. Right now it's got soap in it. It's got a vinyl siding cleaner. I'm going to do my house up, but I've been doing the rental properties I keep care of. I just did a bunch of cleaning. But I've put hundreds of gallons of stuff through this this is the third summer I've had it. I've already put last week I probably put 8 gallons through this, of this cleaner. I've also put my weed killer in this a lot of times. Like I said, hundreds of gallons through this. I did the video on it originally. I think it was $149. They had a special one weekend. It was $99 with the battery and everything. You got to be careful with Ryobi and a bunch of products now, because a lot of times you'll see online it will be without the battery. So it's a tool only. I bought this in store with the battery, a charger, the pump, I believe for $99 3 years ago. I have no complaints. This thing, I do put it away and make sure it's dried out so nothing sticks, because that's anything with a pump in it, you got to put it away dry or they'll stick up. Like even your gas-powered power washers, I normally fog them in the fall. They have an oil that you put in them. Other than that, you won't even get 3 years out of them. I believe my last one of these I had was a DeWalt that I paid $400 for, and I think it only lasted like a season and a half. So I'm already ahead of the game with this. I used this yesterday. This battery still charges well. You can pump gallons. This will pump, that one battery charge will pump, I want to say, you can fill this probably 7 or 8 times before that battery goes down. Another thing I'm going to say about Ryobi stuff that I like is this battery will charge probably 3 times as quick as Milwaukee or DeWalt or any of the other ones. I don't know what it is. I can come home at lunch, put that on my charger, eat a quick lunch, 20 minutes later, take that with me and go finish whatever I'm doing with this thing. I don't have a lot of Ryobi stuff, so I don't have an extra battery. That's the only downfall. Someone that had Ryobi tools, I mean, I'm that guy. I'm going to be honest. This part of my YouTube channel is going to be doing the reviews on tools I buy. I bought this that day because, like I said, I'm sick and tired of paying $400 or $500 for something that doesn't last any longer. Ryobi seems to be a company out there. They keep their prices right. I got a brother-in-law he was into the Ryobi, like, impact drills, 1/2-inch drills, the 3/8, 18, I think it was 18 volt stuff. I helped him build some stuff at his house one time, and he says, try it. You know, same thing. I'm not that guy that like, oh, I can't believe you got Ryobi stuff in your truck. I'll never be that guy. Number one, it's like everything. It's what you can afford to buy. But I buy stuff, I don't care what brand it is. If it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. This is a good product for the money. Probably better than, this is better than the last 3 I bought that were probably $400 a piece. This has already outlasted every one of them. I know the last one was a DeWalt, I believe. I can't remember, but I don't think it was a Milwaukee, but they were all brand name things. Ryobi is a brand name, but it's still, when you go to a big box store, Ryobi is normally cheaper at what they're selling. So I'll show you that. I was on a job a couple of years ago where I watched a woman have the Honda version of this. And I'm like, oh, I'll probably go buy a Honda. Then she tells me I think she paid $799 for it. So this is a product. It's a little rototiller. And once in a while I'll get into a raised bed that you got to bust up pretty good. It's not heavy roots, but it's got a carpet mat type thing that you got to break up. A lot of times I'll just dig that out and replace it. I was on a job where the woman wanted it left there. That's why I bought this. She goes, I want you to just break that up and leave it there. Then we'll replant, rebark mulch. She said, I feel that's good organic material. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I said, originally I see the woman, it was in the same neighborhood as this. I got these jobs weren't that far apart. I was doing something else for the woman that was using hers that day, and this homeowner that bought one But you're seeing that more and more. Homeowners now buy, during the COVID bull crap, they were buying Kubota tractors. Oh, I'm bored on the weekends. We're working from home. I just talked to my Kubota salesman about that. He said they can't believe a lot of that ain't coming back on consignment now, where they bought a $35,000 tractor and decided they didn't need it. But homeowners went out and bought big dollar commercial stuff. And I don't know if that was the case with her or what. But anyways, that's what got me looking for one of these. But no one... This is the only cheap version of this. I don't believe I ever did a video on this, but I thought I'd mention it today because that contractor, I get coffee 2 or 3 times a week in a store with a bunch of other contractors. He remembers this. He was that contractor that's like, I can't believe you have a Ryobi tool, blah, blah, whatever. But he asked me, is that still running? And I'm like, to tell you the truth, I've only used it probably 3 or 4 times in a couple of years that I've had it. It normally gets a pretty good hot supper put to it when I am using it. It's getting more of a, probably a tank and a half of fuel run through it when I'm using it. So it ain't like it hasn't been used. Again, when I use something, I'm probably using it way more than most homeowners do. But because he said that, I'm like, I'm going to add that to, I knew I was going to be doing some videos like this. I said, I'm going to go, and I started this morning. This hasn't been started for a year, and it started in 6 poles. Originally, I had one of these I bought a few years ago when my Husqvarna was getting tired, I knew it. But I bought a tool with an extender kit, they call it, which I bought one of these for it. It was a Toro. I'm not a big Toro fan. You're going to hear more and more of that as time goes on. The products I've bought, I'm not, that my zero turns are the biggest turd I've probably bought in all my lawnmowers I've ever bought since I've been doing this. The Toro power heads, the ones you're buying that were like, I want to say, I think it's Home Depot that has it. They normally have just the head that you buy, then you buy these kits. You can buy the power brooms, all that, normally for $99 or $2.99 more, depending on what it is. The power brooms more. These extension pieces that you buy, I think Ryobi makes them. They fit most tools too. Problem I have with the Toro stuff is the carburetors are junk. I don't know if where these things are being made. Following season, you go to use that, you normally fight to get it running. You normally take the carburetor apart, clean it. They're a throwaway unit. They're hoping a homeowner gets it, uses it once and never, and again, I can't slam them because it is a homeowner version of it. I'm a landscape company, but I don't use these. There's certain tools that I don't use much more than some homeowners probably do some years. So I know some guys will watch this video and say, well, you're not really buying commercial stuff. Doesn't matter. You should be able to buy a product and get more than a summer out of it before you need to put a carburetor on it. You buy a $149 power head, you shouldn't have to buy a $30 aftermarket carburetor. And again, if I would have bought a Toro carburetor for it, it was going to be $60-something. But the second season in, I ended up buying an aftermarket carburetor for that. And it's set on, it's out in one of my lean-tos. Why, I don't know. But you'll find the power heads that you buy that are like a no-name knockoff brand. There's a company that was Extender Tool or whatever what brand name was. They dull up. You're better off, something like this, you're better off buying Echo, Husqvarna, steel. I think you're going to find the blades are hardened. They're made out of a better steel, so they're going to stay sharper longer. You can probably get these sharpened, but again, when you can buy the tool for what it is, I believe this was $2.99 put together like it is. But we'll do the review on that. But again, going back to the Ryobi stuff, I'm not going to be that contractor that says, oh, don't buy Ryobi. That Ryobi, that works well. It ain't underpowered neither. I'll say that. It works well. It busts up some pretty hard packed stuff good. But I just thought I'd mention that in the video today. So I got a lot of stuff, a lot of little tools I bought this year that I'm going to do reviews on. And again, that's from a couple of years ago. It's still a good tool. It's set a year and just started in 6 poles. That's probably as good as any other brand would. I was nervous when he said, do you still have that? And I'm thinking, yeah, that's still hanging around my shop. When that started in 6 poles today, everything works, ran good, put the choke off, it runs good. A lot of tools that you pay $150 for, the second season you go to start it, that carburetor normally has to come off, get cleaned out. They are literally making so much throwaway stuff now, but Ryobi seems to be coming around. And I won't lie to you, I'm on job sites all the time where there's building contractors. I am starting to see Ryobi like 1/2 inch and 3/8 20 volt, 18, 20 volt drills now on job sites. I think a lot of guys come to the same conclusion. When I did a lot more construction stuff, building, I was a hardcore Milwaukee fan. You'll still see my Milwaukee and DeWalt stuff. I'm not a hardcore fan of any of them. My original problem with Milwaukee was their batteries were junk. Same thing. I've always been a landscape company that did handyman stuff while I'm on a job site. There was summers that you wouldn't get a lot of handyman stuff, so them batteries wouldn't get discharged and charged back up. So 2 years later, you go to charge, let's say at the time I had a lot of Milwaukee stuff. I probably had 15 batteries. I was throwing 3 batteries away that wouldn't take a charge anymore. And back then, them batteries were, I want to say $279 a piece to replace. So that's why I stepped away from Milwaukee for quite a few years. I went to DeWalt. DeWalt has that same issue. If you don't take their batteries down and charge them and keep doing it, you'll have a battery go bad. But that's there's always a deal with DeWalt stuff. At Christmas, you can normally buy an 18 or 20 volt tool for $99. It comes with the tool, another battery. And also their batteries are always somewhere for 99 bucks, not 200 and something. Their bigger stuff, like I'm looking at my 60 volt blower, them batteries are crazy priced. And I don't like DeWalt, that's the one thing DeWalt does, I'm gonna mention that during this video. They gotta come up with a better deal on those bigger batteries that do the 60 volt stuff. I'll grab it and show you. This is what they call Flex Volt. This has been an awesome tool. I used the crap out of this. This stays in one of my trucks almost all summer long. I just like having it in the back. Even when I'm doing carpentry stuff, or even like in my back garage, if I do something where I cut a lot of stuff up in my garage and I want to blow the floor out the back door, I'll use this. I don't want to start a gas-powered one. You'll see how dusty it is. I use it all the time. Same thing when I don't run my sawmill enough. I really miss not having the time. I'm going to try to find time to do some videos with that this year. But when I'm running my sawmill, this is up near my sawmill, same thing, blows the sawmill off every time you 2 or 3 logs. This has been a good tool. The downfall to the 60 volt stuff with DeWalt is the batteries are crazy priced and there's never a deal on them. Even at Christmas, if there's a sale, I think it's $249 still for that battery. I think they have a 6 hour and a 9 hour. The 9 hour one I bought, this came, I think, with a 6 hour battery that I wasn't that impressed with. They had a deal that day. You could buy the tool only, or you could buy the tool with the battery. I chose to buy with the battery because the guy at the store told me, he says, hey, the battery's a crazy price. You're gonna don't buy just the tool unless you've already got a bunch of stuff with that battery. This will run on that 60, the big battery, the 9 hour battery. You might get 30 minutes of runtime out of this, far solid if you're blowing a driveway off or something. It works awesome. I just think they need to make that battery more affordable so you can have more of them. I want to say that was a couple $100, maybe $250 when I bought it with the battery. To get extra battery shouldn't cost you another $250. Even though the battery you're buying for $250 is probably a longer hour runtime, but they really should give you, for the price they're getting for that, they should give you the best battery with it, not the mid-grade battery. But anyways, I'm going to keep doing these videos. Like I said, I bought a lot of stuff this year I'll do videos on. Them tools, I'm telling you, they're good or bad. This tool, I'm just unboxing, and I'll tell you a year from now whether it's still good. I do have a job, my commercial property I just took back. This is going to get probably, I'm going to guess 5 or 6 tanks of fuel run through it in a couple day period. So that'll be a good test for it. Again, I'm going to say in this video, I've said in other videos, if you ever see a tool in the backdrop of my videos or in one of my trucks or something and you want to know about it, don't be afraid to send me, say something on YouTube about it and I'll answer that question or do a video on it. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.